Dosto, it is said that those who rule on the words rule on the world. And it is so aptly said. Words are so immensely powerful, but we need to understand the spirit and the true meaning which is involved in the word. And what I'm going to talk to you today is basically about two words which are very often used in our day to day conversation. And I generally notice that these words are understood in a limited way, and the words have very different meaning, while the manifestation and the behavior displayed under the banner of those words is very different. And the two words which I'm going to talk to you today about, number one is a word which is a very corporate word, okay? And you would have used this word, and I'm sure that we all come across this word, and the word is review. There is monthly review, there is a quarterly review, there is a half yearly review, there is a marketing review, there is some other function review. So the word review creates a very different type of a feeling in all of us, okay? And generally, wherever there's a review, there's a lot of activity which is going on in the office, there's a lot of data which is being curled out, and there are presentations which are being made, and the whole office is into a very different type of environment because there's going to be a review, okay? Now let us very closely look at this word review, okay? So the review is review, which means that look, whatever business situation you are in, whatever reality you are into, whatever challenge you are into, what you're going to do in the process of review, you're going to review it. Which means that let's look at the situation in a different way. Let's understand the perspective from a different angle, okay? Let's look collectively so that the collective wisdom, the collective experience, and the different education which you all have gone through, all that gets pooled into, and with that pool, we create what is called as a different view, a very special view, a view which alone couldn't have been possible, hence there is a review. So that is the spirit and the meaning of the word review, while the whole word is being understood and behaved in a very strange and a different way. So I'm sure next time when you would conduct a review, you would see to it that the review results into something which is very special, something which is different, something which is wider, something which is full of surprise, because collectively the intelligence is always more. So that's the spirit of the word review. The second word which I want to talk to you about is a word which is very commonly used. So when you meet people in the office, the general greeting is that, look, hi, how are you? And the answer from the person going to come is about that, look, I'm fine. Now this word fine is really fine, okay? Relax, it's fine, Relax, it's fine. And every time I say it's fine, there is a exhaling which is happening, okay? And when you get into a tense situation, when you get into a situation which is a high pressure situation, and then you tell yourself that it is fine, the toxicity, the contamination which is getting built inside because of the pressure, you got a chance to exhale that toxicity out, and you inhale fresh air which makes you feel more positive, okay? So that's the word fine. So every time you say fine, please notice that look, you are exhaling, okay? The air is going to move out, okay? And post to that, the air is going to come in, so it's the toxicity going out and the freshness coming in, okay? But there's an interesting aspect of this word if we look at it in a slightly different way. So there is a word which is define, okay? So when you put D before any word, the prefix changes the complete meaning of the word, okay? It gets into something which is opposite, okay? So for example, limit, and then you put D before limit and it becomes delimit, and the entire meaning changes, okay? So let's look at the word fine from this point of view, okay? So when you define, you try to constrict, okay? Because you're getting into defining it, okay? You try to put it into a sort of boundary, okay? Some sort of constriction, okay? While the word fine has a flow, okay? So when you say anything which is fine, it is in a flow, okay? And when you define, you try to constrict the flow, and which would have its own consequences, okay? So I'm not saying that, look, defining is absolutely not done. Of course you got to define, but you got to keep this in mind that, look, when you're defining, you're putting certain limits around the concept, okay? So define means when you constrict the flow. While we define everything, we define relationship, we define, look, the relationship between the father and son has to be like this, the husband and the wife has to be like this, the boss and subordinate has to be like this, the elderly people and the younger people, that's the way the relationship is supposed to be. And we get into a lot of defining, okay? So we are obsessed with defining, and when we do that, we limit the flow. So the word is very fine, and when we try to define things, we get into what is called as constraining the flow. So ladies and gentlemen, two words: review, and fine, which is allowing the contamination to move out and freshness to come in. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a great day and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.